Booby, how did it come about, your invitation to be on MTV's The Challenge, Champs vs. Stars Season 3?
It was kind of a last minute thing, because what not a lot of people know is I had hurt my knee a little time before the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working, getting back in shape, and I was gonna do this basketball thing first called the Big Three. That was what I was kind of working towards getting into. But I didn't feel like I was ready yet, but I was ready, kind of.
Yeah. Was it a serious injury?
It wasn't. I just had I had my knee scoped.
Got you.
So it was just kind of
Cleaned out.
Yeah. And so after that, they called about the challenge, and it was like, I didn't know what it meant. Let's start there. When they told me the challenge, they was like, it's a competition show. You go, you compete, but you'll be doing things you've never done before. And I'm like, you know what? I want to try. I want to do something new. I want to try something. So, yeah, tell them yeah.
Yeah.
And so signed up. I mean, this was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before that I got this information, and I was just like, let's do it.
So you literally had no idea what you were getting yourself in for. And then what about, did the knee thing, was that still bugging you when you went into the show, or was that all cleared up and you just didn't feel like you were ready to play basketball?
Yeah, it was all cleared up. I just didn't feel like I was physically ready to play basketball at a consistent level. I felt like I needed more time.
But you did feel you were ready for an MTV physical challenge show.
Yeah, because with basketball, you think about the cardio and the running of it. With this, I knew there'd be like competition, but I just felt like I would be able to
Got you. You'd be able to cope, for sure.
Yeah.
So how soon into the show did you realise that there was a game within a game going on? Because it's not all cut and shut. For those people who don't watch the challenge, there's a lot of politicking, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot. And that was the part that I had no idea coming in what to expect. And so I believe it was the first day, even when you were the first person I met.
Yes.
When I got there.
That's right.
Thank God that happened the way that it happened. You were the first person I met, because I would have been in a whole lot of trouble had that not been the case. Mm-hmm. But after that, I think it hit me when they threw Arian, when they didn't save Arian.
Right. And they sent
even
him
before
home.
That, like I still saw the politics going on, but I didn't really understand what was happening. Mm-hmm. But after he lost, man, him being somebody that I looked at as like, I'm from Houston Texans, this is a superstar running back. They got him, they definitely gonna keep him.
Yeah.
When everybody said no,
got you.
Yeah, that's when it was like, okay, this don't got nothing to do with your athletic ability. Mm-hmm. You got to do something outside of that to stay in this game.
So were you thinking, look, they got an Arian, they're going to come after me?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was definitely like right away even when they called his name up there, I was like, well, who are we going to put to go against him? Mm-hmm. In my mind. So I was like, it had to be either me or Casper at that moment.
Yeah, they weren't going to take out Drake.
Yeah.
You know.
They was going to hold on to those guys. But me, I didn't even know. And had I been called, I'd have been like, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, let's do it.
Exactly. Your ego and everything, all of your pride would have just summoned you to the occasion, and you'd have been in Casper's shoes where you're going up against one of the greatest running backs in history.
Yeah.
What? Thank God it didn't go down like that.
Thank God it didn't play out like that.
But Casper tough elimination.
Yeah. And they was what? They was doing, they had a baseball type challenge where it was just will.
They made it look like it was like 2-3 minutes. It was like a good 15-20 minutes of cardio.
And that's what I said. Like after watching that episode air, I was like, it did it no justice as to how much those two guys really endured that day.
For real, I'm with you. Yeah. But who were the people from the offset, from straight out the gate that you were like loving, and who were the people that you were like wary of? Because I think you're a very intuitive person. I think you're like me.
Yeah. Well, for me, I saw you, Arian, and Hennessy. It was for me like those were like 3 different like comfortable areas. And not knowing the game that much, I knew that at that time, Arian's my teammate. I'm like, okay, we can work together. And if we on the same team, we're going to have a good chance of whatever they throwing our way.
Yep.
You being the first person that I chopped it up with, I was like, okay, she cool. She understand what's going on here. I need to talk to her.
Yep.
And then Hennessy was just fun. She made it feel like,
She
okay,
was wicked,
we can
wasn't
relax.
she? We
can relax. This is for charity. We can have some fun. Like Henny brought that energy to the game.
She did, man.
And then like looking at the opposing team, I had saw CT and Wes just from flipping through the channels and seeing that show on TV. And I saw that CT was a monster, and I always knew Wes was always messing with people's head.
The mental game he had down. If he didn't have the brawn, he had definitely the mental thing about him.
Yeah, with the jabs and all that. And so with him and that whole situation, I was just like, I'll probably pick Wes's brain as much as I can, make him think that I might be an ally at some point, because he's going to look at me as somebody that can help him. So if I make him think that I might help him, then he'll give me all the information I need. And then I was just like, at that point, I was like, I'm going to ride with Louise and I'll just protect her.
Oh, boobs. So you kind of got the politicking thing early on. You had Wes in your pocket. Yeah. You also had like Cam in your pocket as well. Yeah. But let's face it, how did it feel at that point where, because I kind of messed this shit up for you. So you were building allies with the other team. Yeah. And I kind of forced your hand on this one. Yeah. How did that feel? What were you thinking? You can be as honest with me as you like.
Well, nah, see, I mean, at the time, and this is what I even told Cam at the time, I was like, if it's up to me and I could talk to my team, we're not gonna say your name. So when I came to you, and I was like, yo, she told me, I mean, I'm telling you, why not say Tory? And you was like, nah, we gonna get Cam. And I was like, at that point, my hands is tied. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't lie to you per se. I was honest about what I was trying to do. Yeah. But if my team says it's a no-go, it's nothing I could do.
For sure. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Cam. Like, don't blame Booby. He's a good guy. I'm the one that, you know what I mean, I messed it up for you. I'm not.
And when I seen it, and as I'm watching it play, I just looked like I was just so deceiving, so gangster. Like,
yeah,
it was
she
like,
went in on the insults.
It just looked like I was just. But I mean, at that point, I kind of got it. I mean, I mean, she knew. She knew that I wasn't gonna save her if it meant the stars had to fall in any way. I told her that. But like, I think the champs, they try to like bully you into thinking that you have to do what they say, or we're going to come back and get you, and you're going to, you know what I'm saying? That was their angle.
The interesting thing is, I kind of felt like, why are you trying to why you haven't got any leverage on us?
Exactly.
Like, we haven't got any leverage on you. We only have leverage with each other. We can only look out for the stars or the champs. And so we were all in the same kind of scenario.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like, because they'd done it before, that they felt that they could swing it. Even Wes was giving me like, oh, I think Booby's going to jump ship. I'm like, shut up, Wes.
Nah,
go
see,
home.
The whole thing with me was, you never know with that game how it's going to shift, which way those waves are going to come. And so having the conversations, I'm sure we'll probably see. Yeah, I was having conversations with Wes, even Cam, whoever I could talk to, like, yo, it's possible when it gets to a certain point, like, we're not going to be able to do this whole champs and stars thing. So I had to at least play that angle so that if we weren't in the position that we were in,
for real,
somebody on that side would be like, okay, we got Booby too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to lie. I was buttering both sides of my bread too.
You had to. Because with that game, you just never know. Because, it really depended on if somebody went into elimination and lost, that you thought was going to win.
For real. Then you had to be their ally. That's right. And I think trust came a lot into this game. Yeah. How important were the four corners to you?
Oh, man, the four corners.
And explain what the four corners is.
I mean, it saved my life. As far as my game life, it gave me life in the game. And it gave me game. It helped me understand, like, the politics of the game. Because so the four corners were basically you,
myself,
Casper, me,
Smart, yourself,
and Drake
Bell.
And so these are the stars that had the power on the blue team, because we had the numbers. We had the numbers, yeah. And we knew if we stayed together, that was a powerful thing. And so with me not really understanding the game, but having you guys there knowing, like, okay, we're going to rock like this as long as we can, because the numbers are going to get smaller and things might happen. But as long as we stay like this, will advance further. That's really, to me, the only reason why I got so comfortable, you know what I'm saying, in having conversations with the other team.
For real.
Because I had that.
It was almost like
in my back
security,
pocket.
wasn't
Yeah.
it? And the interesting thing I think about that dynamic,
Absolutely.
the four corners, that allegiance was, and if you didn't watch the show, I'm only going to explain it like this. Booby and two of the other members of the show, we all formed this alliance, and we were making sure, because obviously we were playing for charity, that every member in that team was eating.
Yeah.
And that every member took home some money for their charities.
Yeah.
And that to me was just like, it was one of those moments where I just kind of wanted to cry because, you know, I'm looking at what's going on in the world of music and entertainment and the way in which, you know, Diddy has his crew and like French Montana's eating and like Jay-Z has his crew and his guys are eating. And I'm just like, that was the closest thing to I got to having a crew. And it was just like,
no bullshit.
It was good. Felt good.
It was the other day I was going through some comments and you were mentioned and I was like, I was just blessed that when I walked through those doors in that hotel, you was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it just set it up for me to be able to, like you said, give to my charity and really enjoy the game. The game, because the champs had been stumping all over the stars for so long.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
For real. That red team had it hard.
Yeah, your pride comes in and you like, okay, I'm here, like, I want to change this. And you gave us the antidote to flip that thing, and I appreciate you.
I got you.
That's why I'm here right now. I'm here right now because I feel obliged.
Good.
You know what
what was the defining moment in the show for you? Because the thing about the challenge and the reason I do it a lot of the time is because it teaches me a lot as a person. Yeah. Was there anything that it taught you?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't know this because I'm very personable. I'm always laughing and joking and in the mix with everybody. But I do enjoy my time. You know, I create in my space. Sometimes I go into my world and just forget the other one is still here. And so doing the challenge, it challenged me to get outside of my comfort zone, to try to strengthen different areas, you know, the politicking. I'm always like, I'm going to just do it my way and I'm good like that. But in that world, I had to befriend you. I had to talk to Wes. I had to politic a little bit more. And as the game wore on, I just learned some things about myself. I learned some things about myself, what I was capable of doing, and ways that I could apply those things to this industry that I'm now getting into, being the entertainment industry. There's a lot of angles to where I'm usually reserved, but you got to be more outspoken. You can't be as humble all the time. You know what I'm saying? The show kind of brought those things to life.
We're going to get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Wicked. Is there anything you do differently on the show?
Anything I do differently on the
like
show?
Any decisions? Like, would you have saved
would
Cam?
I do something different? You know what? I went back through each move I made, and I wouldn't do nothing different as far as my votes went, as far as the alliances I made, even all the way down. I mean, I don't know if they'll see this part now or they'll get it later, but even the picking West, like for the it's easy to think you'd be like, you know what, dang, maybe I should have picked Louise or I could have picked Casper in that moment. But thinking back, it's like West ended up being somebody that I'm cool with now. You know what I'm saying? We built a relationship from that point on, and we still good. And so those things.
He's a side boob.
You know what I'm saying? That wasn't for show. That was real life. That was real life, and we still cool to this day. And so I wouldn't change a thing.
That's what I love about you. You're just so genuine, and you played that game really well. Like you played it like a gentleman at times, and then you played it like a killer at others. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, now's the time. I think we need to talk about basketball because, you know, on that show, I realized, you know, Booby's you're a sweet person, but I think what we both recognized in each other was the killer in each other. And we knew that when it came to game time, it was on.
You flipped that switch.
For real.
You flipped that switch.
So talk to me about the Cavs. And getting the call for them. What did that feel like?
Well, coming from what I come from, you know, a lot of people don't make it. And so I was I developed this determination and this hunger real young to make it. And so making it to the NBA for me was bigger than just stepping on a basketball court. To me, that like gave hope to a whole another generation of people that come up behind me that grow up what I grow up in.
And what was that?
Just the struggle, you know what I'm saying? Just poverty, just not having a whole lot of resources and options and things there to help you succeed. You need to see somebody come from what you come from succeed. And so stepping on the NBA basketball court for me gave all those kids hope. And that's what I take pride in. That was my driving force, and yeah, that meant the most to me as far as the NBA goes.
Was it, would you say, one of the happiest moments, getting that call up?
Absolutely. It was, yeah, aside from my son being born, probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
And what about one of the special moments? Talk me through one of the special moments during your career at the Cavs. Was there a defining moment for you on the court?
Yeah, it was.
Let's have it.
So my rookie season, a lot of people don't understand this about me, and this will maybe help people understand why I was able to walk away from the game sooner than most people would have expected or might have wanted me to. So my rookie season, it kind of explains Daniel Gibson in a nutshell. I started off the season, in practice I was killing all of the old heads, tearing them up every single day, but I couldn't get on the court.
Who were the old heads?
Old heads, Damon Jones, David Wesley, they know. Eric Snow, Larry Hughes. Larry Hughes, my boy, that was actually my vet, so I won't include his name in that. But the other guys, like...
You just did.
The other guys, I was giving them work, but not necessarily work like that, but I knew I deserved to be playing, and I wasn't. But the thing about me is, I don't look, because of what I come from, tired don't look the same to me as it does to everybody else. Like, other people see tired and they be like, all right, I'm about to quit. When I see tired, it's like, okay, there's another level that I'm going to right now. And that's what's happening. And so...
What do you mean? Do you mean when you feel tired?
Yeah.
So when you get, fatigued in a game, or when your teammates are down, you're like, this is the time to push on?
Yeah. And that's, in life, that's just a gift that I have. Right at that moment when most people... oh shit, I'm done. That's when I feel like there's another switch for you. You have to, there's more. Like, whatever your mind is telling you is not what the reality is.
Where does that resilience come from?
I just think it's how I grew up. It's like a lot of the things that I saw growing up, you know, kids probably shouldn't see, but it puts something in you. And me, I just always felt like I was born for more. I feel like I was born to be an example for other people. And so when you feel like that inside of you, you just can't quit at nothing. Like, some people just need to see, even if you're not all the way at the top, some people just need to see you fighting too. So they'll keep fighting. And I feel like that's why I was put on earth. And so, yeah, my tired looks different, or it feels different. And during that during my rookie year, when most people thought I was like, he ain't gonna make it. He's not gonna get no minutes. I didn't start getting minutes until the playoffs started, and the playoffs are going on right now. So that's like, this time always gets me excited. I didn't get on minutes till the playoffs started, and then out of nowhere, the night before, I had went out all night, not thinking I'm gonna play. Mind you, I'm still working hard.
Yeah.
I'm still working hard, but I had went out. I wasn't expecting getting the game. Coach says, "Booby, go in." And this is
What on earth did you do?
Lulu, I'm telling you, if anybody that's a basketball fan, anybody knows who Gilbert Arenas is, at this time, he's Agent Zero, meaning everybody in the world know him as a sniper, right? Coach, like, go in, stop him.
Oh, my life.
These are my first real NBA minutes, though.
Were you hungover at this point?
I'm 19, still buzzed, everything.
The thing is, though, and I'm going to be real, I reckon I've run some of my best races half cut.
I'm trying to tell you.
Tell me more.
Yeah, because it's like you focus a little more or something.
You try harder.
Yeah.
Like, you just become, focused.
So I check into the game, and nobody's really expecting me to do much. It's like, this rookie, just go pick up a couple fouls and come back over here. So mind you, foul one did happen. Right away, I get a foul.
Fair play.
Coach, like, keep going or whatever. So I keep going. I make a 3 on the other end, though. Then we come back. I make another shot on the other end. They call a timeout. So now in my mind, I'm like, okay, they didn't prepare for me to be out here. Second, really be making shots and bothering Gilbert on this side. So completely changed the dynamic of the series.
Switched up the game.
Yeah, and so I did pick up more fouls that game. I ended up having to sit down, but Coach then started playing me in the playoffs. Fast forward, long story short, this is the first time Cleveland ever has an opportunity to go to the finals. It's Game 6, Eastern Conference Finals. LeBron James had just scored like 29 straight the game before. So everybody's like, they're going to double team him. Somebody else has to step up, kind of like the guys are doing right now for that team. Yep. Somebody else has to step up. Game 6, game to go to the finals. I always say my grandmother was rocking with me that night, but didn't miss a shot, didn't miss a 3-pointer that night. Ended up being a big part of why the Cavs made it to the NBA Finals for the first time as a rookie. And it was just like that moment right there was just like, okay, dang, like you did it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Like, I'm getting what? You like, haven't what?
Explained it like that before. Just talking to you right now is my first time actually going through it myself. Like
getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, and that's kind of like me in a nutshell. Like, I don't stop, I don't quit. And if you sum up my NBA career, like, that's what I wanted to be known for. Somebody that just didn't quit, wasn't supposed to be there.
You were hungry for it.
Made it and made the most of it.
Fucking brilliant. Brilliant, Boobs. Oh, man. That just gave me so many goosebumps.
Yeah, that was a wild experience and one I'll never forget.
For real. Like, I can totally relate to those 1 moments or 2, 3 moments in sport that you just are never going to get again.
Yeah, because it's like it's right at that moment you remember how much like you wanted, how tough it was.
Yeah,
how much you thought about
and
quitting.
all of the struggle, everything that you did, every single training session, every single tear that you dropped because you weren't good enough. Yes, leads you.
Everybody that told you no, all over like that moment,
leads you to that point.
Yeah.
Dope, brother. Dope. You're such a G. You mentioned
my Lou.
I know. You mentioned LeBron. Well, little question for you. What do you think LeBron cares more about, MVP or the championship?
This is easy question. Bronny is the greatest teammate of all time. He's the ultimate team player.
What makes him a great teammate?
And this is why I hate the Michael Jordan, LeBron comparison. They shouldn't be compared because they both are the height of that style of player. Like, Bron is completely opposite of Kobe. Like, Bron, at the last shot, he's going to find the best shooter. That's just as dope as being somebody that can make that shot if you find the right guy that should take that shot every single time.
So you know because athletically superior?
Whoo, I don't know.
Woo! Come on, I want it because these are the conversations that I'm having on the streets.
Yeah,
on the streets of LA.
Oh my God,
I'm with guys and they're talking about
Jordan, right?
Yeah, and they're saying that Jordan, the greatest player ever. But LeBron, the best player ever. As in the best athletically. You've played alongside him. He's your boy. This is the thing.
And let me say this first. I'm trying to figure out who's more athletic. It's like these are two Greek gods I'm trying to compare. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's let it be known that their athleticism can't be compared to start. But I guess you could say LeBron just because of his build too. Like, Jordan might have been like the highest jumping, like, fast, but Bron's like 6'8" and he jumps that high and runs that fast. That makes it that much more powerful.
That's hard. I don't think people really understand how it is to be over 6'5" and be a jumper.
Yeah. LeBron is a freak of nature.
Yeah. There are some, like, even our best high jumpers in the world have been all shorter than like 6 foot. Some of them.
And like he's 15 years in and he's still doing the same thing. It's like, it's hard to fathom. And like, so many people spend so much time critiquing his greatness that I don't think they spend enough time just
congratulating.
Yes. And just witnessing what we are. And that's somebody that when he's done playing, you're going to wish that while he was playing, you paid more attention and you really enjoy what he's doing.
Beautiful. Beautiful insight.
Yeah.
So here's a scenario for you.
What you got?
It's 30 minutes before the game and you ask LeBron for a stick of deodorant. What's his reaction?
He probably going to say, hell no. He's the greatest teammate on the court. Nah, off the court, he's the jokester. He's the life of the party too. But he got a strict regimen. And I think if you wanted to borrow his deodorant, he might be like, nah, like, I might got something that you can go get or somewhere that you can find some, but you probably can't borrow this.
So that 30 minutes before a game, does everyone go off? Because this is what it was like in track and field. Everybody go off into their own zone. Like, we would basically be taken out into almost like a little pig pen. Yeah. And you would just mentally run through whatever it was going to be, your hurdles race. You'd get into your zone. You wouldn't want people around you. Like, stay out of my personal space, because otherwise you're going to get licked. Do you know what I mean? Is it like that?
Same exact
Where are you
thing.
guys? Where are you, in the locker room?
Locker room. So 30 minutes to an hour before the game, you pick your times when you're going to get on the court and go through your routine of preparing for the game. And then 30 minutes before the game, you come in and probably get the notes on who you guarding, what they do.
So the final lineup.
Yeah. Tell you what's going to happen, who you might be playing against. You look at your paper, and then you go into your space and you prepare for the game. So we have our locker. We not on the field. Like, we can't intimidate the other team. Like, y'all can like fake stretch real fast. I know what y'all do. We can't do that. We just.
Couple of false starts.
Yeah. You get in your space, and then, in the locker room and just prepare for battle.
What are you doing during your warm-up? What's your routine?
I always been a music head. I always been a music head. I would go into my locker. I would get my pen. I would start listening to music. I would actually write down like some of the things that I wanted to make sure that I did that night.
I used to do that too.
Did you?
Yeah.
To like pinpoints to focus on.
I used to just put little notes in my phone, just little things to think about during execution.
Writing for me is like it's therapeutic. I write if I'm getting ready, like before I came to talk to you today. Like I just wrote. I would write, and it kind of gives me clarity on what I need to do, what I'm expecting from myself, and then when I get back, when I'm done, I go look at my notes and be like, okay, you did your thing.
Dope, man. Yeah. Dope. Now, basketball players, NBA players, they come under, I guess, a lot of kind of stereotypes. Yeah. Like, they get a half rap, don't they?
Yeah.
But I want to know, what's the dumbest thing you've ever spent one of your paychecks on? Dumbest thing. Tell me now.
Oh, man, you put me on the spot. You know what? I'm from the country. I'm a country boy. We cheap.
Really? What was it? Chickens? What do you buy? What do you country boys buy? That's what I want to know.
Not that country. Not that country. I think now that probably the way that I did my truck is probably the worst thing.
What did you do? Just wrap it? What did you do?
Just did everything. I put the grill on the front of it. I do this. I go by Booby's world. Like, that's what I mean when I say I drift into my own world. Booby's world is a real thing for me. Like, I live there 95% of the time. So I had the Booby's world thing on the front of the grill. Had the grill blacked out. I put the Booby's world logos like in each tire.
Damn it. This sounds more like Mariah's world, this kind of money. Jesus.
So this is what, like, the rim, when your car stop and the rims keep spinning, like, this is around that time.
Oh, my gosh. Where is this car? Wheels. You still have it?
Nah, that's what I'm saying. It didn't make sense. Like, I couldn't drive. I would look like a clown driving that car now. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, it was what I thought was cool. 19.
It was last week. I just sold it on eBay.
19. That's probably the word. I mean, I should have sold on eBay because there was some nice stuff in that car. I had the seats was crazy. Nobody wanted that car. I was the only person that could ever drive that car.
I love it.
But that was probably the worst thing.
And because you're a G, what's the smartest thing you've ever purchased?
Land.
Mm-hmm. Where's that? Here or back home?
Houston, of course.
The motherland.
Land. Yeah, that's home.
Mm-hmm.
So land, like I brought it wasn't even property on the land yet, but I just bought the land so I could do whatever I wanted to do with it. And then from that point, I've just created different things. I have some land I bought. Obviously, I built a home for my parents.
Yep.
And then on the other land, there's AAU teams that I have back home.
How many?
AAU.
I thought you said 8 AAU.
Nah, you right.
8.
Yeah.
Wicked. Come on then.
Listen, when we go back to when we talking about the basketball, when I said it was bigger than me,
yeah,
that was the vision I had.
I got you.
The vision I had was being able to go back and build a place to where the kids that are growing up don't have to see what I saw. They can go to the basketball gym, and I have this thing called ABCs. It's academics, basketball, and a commitment to both. So all my kids, they go through the rec league and spend all their time there and out of the street. And I have my teams that I call Booby Gang, and they travel and play AAU basketball and work for scholarships and stuff like that.
Amazing.
And
so obviously we've seen, like Netflix have covered obviously Snoop Dogg and his kind of work in the community with kids.
With the football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if he does a team like basketball and you do a team, are we going to see like a clash of the Titans? Because I know he's doing football, but he's obviously a big fan of basketball too. Yeah,
the dope part about AAU basketball is there are other guys who have did something similar, and the clash of the Titans does happen.
Okay, so whose team are you looking out for?
Well, we had this thing in Houston where like myself, TJ Ford, who's another NBA basketball player, Rashard Lewis, we have teams, and so our teams kind of clash and try to see who's the better team in the city.
As a result, do you guys clash? Is it like an ego thing?
Yeah, because
it's bigger than the kids.
Yes, yes. When you start playing basketball, that competition that you had at that level is addicting.
For real?
It's addicting.
It's the reason we took part in the MTV's The Challenge.
You look for ways to just be able to compete like that, and that's definitely one of them. We all want the better team in Houston because you get the more college scouts to come watch your team. And then actually this year, one of my guys got drafted by the New York Knicks.
Amazing.
From my neighborhood.
Oh, amazing.
Damian Dotson. So he's my first, like, him getting drafted.
Yeah.
Felt like I got drafted all over
For sure.
again,
That's like, as an athlete, I think once you come to that point, that's the biggest thing you could ever give back.
It was the best feeling in the world because I know what it felt like. We talked about what it felt like when I got drafted.
Yeah.
To know that I set it up for him to be able to have that same opportunity, and he did it. I'm getting goosebumps like you earlier just thinking about that.
It's dope,
like
man.
I love it. That's why I feel like that's why I'm here.
Nuts. You're definitely here for a reason. One of the things we talked about, I know when we were filming on the show, was the fact that you're also involved in Love and Hip Hop LA, which is another reality show. And I was just like, this is a really unlikely choice for a former NBA player. What was your decision behind being involved in that?
Well, what you just said is exactly why. I feel like there's platforms that people go on and they think that they have to go to the shiny platform in order.
What would that be?
To make a difference. I mean, if you're not talking Love and Hip Hop, I mean, reality TV there isn't a nice light shined on it. You know what I'm saying? It's ratchet, it's this and it's that. But there's over 5 to 10 million people that tune in and watch this show. And so I'm like, okay, there's a way to go on that platform and create an effect on the world as well. You don't have to go on the show and be ratchet. You know, there's guys that watch this show that might be going through something in a relationship, or they might have been through some things, and they might be able to look at you and be like, damn, I can handle it like Booby, as opposed to handling it like half of the cast that I see on that show. And so I just felt like it was an opportunity for me to A, shine a different light in that arena, and B, shock value. I wanted people to know that I'm serious about what I'm doing, and I don't really care about what anybody has to say about my approach to it or what they feel about it. This is just who I know I'm supposed to be, and I'm just walking in that light. And that was just a way of me saying that.
Dope. And talking about shock value, this would not be an interview if we didn't talk about what was going on in the world at the moment. Kanye West. Shock value. I presume you've seen the TMZ. Did you see the interview with Charlemagne?
Yeah.
First of all, tell me about the Charlemagne interview.
I have not seen the full Charlemagne interview.
Because it was a long one. It was an hour 45.
Yeah, I've just seen like a clip here and there. I haven't seen the full. What I did see was the TMZ moment.
How did that make you feel?
The guy that was there, he said everything that I felt at that moment. It was just like, wow, like this is somebody who I think everybody, when he had the car accident and he got on with the rock and everybody, this was somebody that everybody was like, man, we want to see you win. And then as we want to see you win, who you telling us you are is one of, you understand the politics of the world. You understand what black people are up against or any race is up against. You seem pretty clear-headed in terms of like your approach to music and life.
George Bush is not here for you guys, you know what I mean?
We felt like we was rocking with it in a sense. And so I think that's why everybody is hurt. Because to go from that and then to say, slavery is a choice. I know I get that trolling these days is a business. I think people troll knowing that it's gonna get them album sales and it's gonna make more people tune in to what they got going on. I get that part. But you also have to be responsible human. And you have to know that there's a lot of people that hold on to like what you say. And your word is very powerful because of your position. So you just gotta be very careful with your choice of words because everybody, even those that hate black people, know that wasn't a choice. We all know that, it just hurts to hear that said from somebody in such a position. I mean, a position that so many people respect.
I think about, one of the things that just come to my mind was the idea of, the things that he said about slavery, obviously being a choice. I kind of thought, I wonder how it would feel. I kind of always sum it up like, what would I want my kids to hear me saying? To a certain extent.
Facts.
Because we don't want to kind of wrap our kids up in cotton wool at all. We want to kind of deliver them the truth. And I feel like Kanye was, the champion almost of the people. And he was delivering us that truth with those rants and those storming, stage invasions and things like that. In fact,
he was that one.
He was doing what
we saying what you want to say.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, but I felt also, I see this very much from two different perspectives. I don't agree at all with what he was saying with regards to slavery as a choice. Because slavery still exists today, still going on. Thanks. So by saying that, you're telling people that are in a situation where they don't have freedom, that you're choosing to be there, when that's just simply, we know that not to be true.
Indeed.
I felt like his overall message was really lost.
Yeah.
I felt like what he was trying to say was, let's talk about where we are right now.
Yeah.
And I kind of think where we are right now is in a place where it's not acceptable to say that slavery was a choice. Do you know what I mean? Nor is it acceptable to go around wearing hats saying "Make America Great Again" and endorsing Donald Trump, a person who is persecuting, the majority of the United States and not supporting them. And, all right, yeah, he's creating loopholes for businesses. But the majority of people in the US aren't in that position.
Exactly.
And you're a person effectively that is in that position. And you've achieved success in your life to a point where actually you're probably one of those people that will benefit from those tax breaks or whatever it be. And how do you feel about that?
I just think, I don't know where his head could be at to be able to make those type of comments it's painful to watch. It's just painful to watch. I know what he's trying to say behind it is, it's free thought, and I agree with that. I agree that everybody should have the right to say how they feel and express how they feel and be who they are without judgment. That is the truth. But in that, you have to understand truth. And you have to understand just some things are unacceptable. And that's one of them. It's clear that there's a divide in this country. It's clear. Yeah, we're on both sides trying to work to some type of resolution for something that we haven't been able to figure out forever.
Yep.
But you can't be in that position and say that.
Will you be listening to his album?
Not absolutely not.
Oh,
nah.
So you've decided I
have to hear
it.
Yeah, because being an artist, what I know is I'm gonna create a product that comes from my heart and that I want people to feel that comes from me. And if this is who you telling me you are, then I don't want to hear your music. Because as artists, I think when you think about the entertainment industry, and I think that's what's bad about it now. I think people talk about mumble rap and how those things are bad for the culture. But if that's not what you want to listen to, then
go listen to something else.
To it. You know what I'm saying? It sucks that that's the music that's mainstream now and making most of the money. That sucks. But
why does that suck? Not for you?
Yeah, because that's not my. I mean, it sucks for me too because that's not my style. That's not my style of music. My style is geared towards, is lyrical and it's geared towards women, more uplifting women, and making women feel sexy as opposed to the vibe that they create. Everything is disrespectful to women. Everything is geared towards drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's weirdo music. I don't make that type of music. So
I hear you, boobs.
The music that comes straight from your soul. If Kanye is telling us. That this is the product that he's about to create, that
you don't want none of it.
I don't want to hear it.
And talking about disrespecting women.
What happened? Where we going now? Was it Slay? Slay Sunday?
Slay Sunday.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson, former teammate, good friend of yours. You guys, you're saying go way back. You were at college together. Scenario for you. So Tristan comes into the locker room after the news is broken about
this is a good
infidelity.
Scenario because this is the part that people probably wouldn't. Let's go.
So Tristan Thompson, comes into the locker room, puts his bag down. The news has just broken about his infidelity with Khloe Kardashian. What's the atmosphere like?
All right, so there's a code in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? You know how we say snitches get stitches on the street?
Yeah.
In the NBA, what goes on in the locker room stays in the locker room.
For real.
Type of thing, you know what I'm saying? And so the reason why I say that is because we as men endure a lot in terms of situations we put ourselves in and situations we don't. Yep. We endure a lot. And basketball is supposed to be your getaway.
Yeah.
And so if he were to come into the locker room, put his bag down, and the news broke, we probably roast him a little bit.
Would you?
There would probably be somebody in the group that was comfortable enough with saying something.
Who would it be and what would they be saying?
What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Somebody would hit him like that. But then at that moment, we'd all kind of gauge where he at with it. Was it too soon? You know what I'm saying?
So they'd do it just to break the ice?
Yeah, just to see what's going on. Did you see it? What's going on? You guys we ain't finna walk around this elephant in this room. This is supposed to be our safe place.
Exactly, and this is a small locker room.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? What's going on?
Ain't no room for elephants.
Yeah, if he engage, cool. If not, if he needs some time, that it could be that too. But initially, we're going to try to figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And in that situation, that's a tough situation.
See, I never had to deal with that. That's why you always want to be a single event athlete. No.
It's tough, man. I've been down that road before.
Yeah. So obviously, your personal life has obviously been very public. Your baby mum's is Kesha Cole. You've got a beautiful son together. Would you say that dating in the public eye and dating another celebrity was beneficial while you were playing or detrimental?
I think a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
And I say a little bit of both because I wouldn't say detrimental personally at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that when you're in a situation with anybody that you care about, you don't really care about what anybody else have to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to live your life and you're going to be happy living your life.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is, in the NBA, there's a certain sort of standard that they try to keep the players at.
Right.
And so that's why you hear a lot of politically correct answers.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a lot of people just making sure they walk in a straight and narrow so that they not viewed in a certain type of way.
Right. So you're upholding the brand of NBA.
Of the NBA brand.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, when you kind of step outside of that a little bit and you date somebody in the public eye and it's not always pretty,
Mm-hmm.
then it starts to become viewed outside of that as a distraction. And that's the part that could be tough. It could, because it won't have anything to do with your performance. It won't have anything to do with how you're interacting with people at the job. But outside noise, everybody hear it, and they make their assumptions based off of what they hear. And so that's the only thing. I mean, that's the only thing that can make it difficult. But again, I live in Booby's world, and so I was one of those guys where if this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. You know, everybody's path and their journey is gonna be different. Everybody's not gonna play in the NBA 15 years, 20 years, 10 years. Everybody's not gonna do it. And then when you're done playing, everybody still has to figure out where they're gonna go from there.
Right,
too,
for real.
you know? So
For real.
for me, when I think about love, having relationships and all of those things, for me, when it comes to the NBA, I was gonna do it how I was gonna do it,
For real.
regardless. And yeah.
And
I'm
you and
happy with
Keisha have maintained a really good friendship, and like, you know, I've tuned into the show since we met, and I was like, I think I was watching some of it on the bus with you, and I'm just like, it's beautiful to see you guys kind of move through, I guess, what, you know,
tough times, you know, the whole,
For
yeah,
real.
it was definitely a very tough, rough patch for the both of us. But yeah, we both reached a point where we understood that it was bigger than us. Yeah, we had our time. That time is over. Move forward. We still have a child together. So it's best that we maintain a dope relationship so he's able to see that. But we don't have to be together in order for us to be great parents to Lil D. And it took us a while to figure that part out. You know what I'm saying? It took a whole lot of fighting. But for anybody out there fighting, there's light at the end of the tunnel. If you're able to sometimes be the bigger person. You know what I'm saying? Put your pride aside and make it more about the kids than whatever y'all had or didn't have. Things tend to work out a little bit better.
That's a little bit of love advice from Booby.
You know what I'm saying? Hey.
Have you ever dated any athletes? I know I have.
Dated.
Celebrity dating versus athlete dating. Have you dated any female athletes?
Dated? Yeah. I dated.
Different? What was the difference? Celebrity versus like athletes. You know what I mean?
Athletes understand what it takes to be an athlete or a basketball player. You know, it takes like the wear and tear on your body and how much discipline you have to be great or sustain any type of greatness.
Yeah,
But
still not making you breakfast though, are they?
yeah, I mean, it's tough because they just as tired as you are half the time. Like,
For real.
they don't really spoil you as much as I'm spoiled rotten. So it's kind of hard for me to date somebody.
I hear.
yeah.
I hear you're taken care of by a good woman.
yeah. She takes very good care of me, and it's tough for me to be in a relationship. That's why I said when you said date an athlete, I probably only dated 1 or 2 and it didn't work. So I shut that whole idea down.
Athletes are selfish, man.
Very.
Yeah, and they have to be.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, your body, you be beat up, you be tired, you be needing some attention. You need attention.
You need to be looked after.
Yeah.
Get them feet rubbed. Do you know what I mean? Want dinner cooked.
And the celebrity type of situation that I've had, they don't understand that all the time because they're used to being the one
that are pampered and looked after.
Yeah.
And are driven
So
to
that
places.
balance,
Yeah.
that balance don't always work.
Well, you seem to have got it worked out though.
Yeah.
You seem to have it down. Talk to me about groupies. I'm not really interested in groupies. I mean, I got my own all over Twitter and Instagram, thanks to the challenge.
Yeah.
Let's say, right?
Yeah, the comments are booming. Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's
booming.
all popping off.
Yeah.
It's all popping off. I can't complain.
As
I'm
it
not mad at
should.
it. I'm not
As
mad
it
at it.
should.
And I'm one of them people that read the DMs because you know on Instagram where you've got the DMs of the people that you actually follow, and then the rogue that is so cool. DMs. You know what I mean? The ones that you don't follow, but totally cheer up your day.
Yeah.
Do you read those ones?
I go through and like see, you know what I'm saying?
See what's up.
I check it sometimes. I'm not gonna be one of those guys that lie and be like, oh no, never look at my DM. I go see what's in there, but sometimes I'll go with an intent to try to check business. But yeah, I see the love and I appreciate it.
Who's the most famous person to slide in your DMs? No, you haven't got to answer that. I'm only joking, but you can if you want to.
Nah, the thing I will say is, a whole lot more people female slide in your DMs that y'all might think. Y'all might think it's always the guys. You'd be very surprised at some of your favorite artists, some of your favorite singers, some of your they be sliding in them DMs trying to see what's going on.
I might be sliding in those DMs. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Everyone I think that, like you say, that DM thing, it's always a male, it's like male aggression.
Yeah, they try to act like girls don't ever do it.
This is 2018. We're vying for equality. Therefore, we have to slide in just as many DMs just to keep the balance.
Yeah, nah, I see it. It happens. I mean, and I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, for real.
Slide. Feel free.
That's right, for real. So, we touched upon your retirement earlier, and I want to talk about your transition. And I want to know, what was the reason for your decision to take, effectively, because you're what age?
At the time I stopped?
Yeah.
28.
28. So to everybody else, and I retired when I was 27, that's an early time to be retiring.
That's what people say.
Exactly.
That's what people say because of the scale that they put that on.
Of course.
Yeah.
And what was it for you? Retirement came about because of what?
It was a combination of a lot of things, but ultimately it was injuries. I hurt my ankle early on in my career, and then towards the end of my career, I popped the tendon that they had repaired, and so playing we play 82 games. Playing 82 games, flying, landing at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Impact.
It would take me 2, 3, 4 hours prior to the game just to be able to play in the game that night. And I did it for a while, but it started to really take a toll, not only on me, but on my life. I mean, not only on my basketball life, but on my day-to-day life. I became to be a little more like upset, withdrawn, because when I'm on the court, I'm not able to compete at the level I know I really can play. I'm like, when I'm healthy, so I would have like a good game, and then I would have a game where it'd be like nothing from me because my foot's swollen, but I'll play. And so at that point, I started to realize that like it hit me like Mike Tyson in the 90s. Wow, basketball might not be forever, bro. Had never, because you think about it.
They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that when you're 13.
Listen,
they don't tell you that.
You don't, and you just playing and you love it, and it's just.
And you do it even if you weren't paid, and you're doing it and you're getting paid, and it's like life is good.
And you just think it's. I'm telling you, it was one trip. We got back from a 4 games in 5 nights. I played good the first 2 days before, then we flew. We had another back-to-back, and I was terrible. And then not only did my legs swell up, like the whole side of my leg was crazy. And I'm just like, damn, this is... And then when I got home, DJ is trying to get me to... I'm like, D, not today.
Right.
But that's the entire season. I'm never able to do nothing with him. And so I lost my whole train of thought.
So DJ's wanting to come home, you're wrapped up, you just come home from the game, and you're like, damn.
We talking about, because I was thinking about the feeling of not being able to play, and that kind of like took me somewhere emotionally. But yeah, so DJ's with me, and I'm trying to play with him, but I can't. And so at this point,
why? Can't physically, or you're not there mentally?
Physically and mentally, you get to a point where it's just like, I can't compete. I can't do this. Like when people are watching me play basketball, they're not seeing me play basketball no more. And they think, oh, you're in the NBA, like you're making all this money, just sit on the bench, bro, and just cheat. I'm like, what's fulfilling about me is the what comes from the competition. Win, lose, or draw. To get out there, compete against you. And if you give me, you give me, but you got my best shot. Like that was the thing for me. And when it got to the point where I couldn't do that no more, like I said before, Mike Tyson, boom. And then we come home from that game 4 or 5 nights, DJ trying to play with me, and I'm just like, I might not be able to do this forever. Like I have to think about
Future. Life
after. And so at that point, I started to realize it. And then that maybe a year after that, that summer, I had some things going on in my marriage. It was just a lot going on. And I was just like, I need to just step back. I can't do it. And at that point, that's when I picked up my pen. And I picked up my pen and I started writing. And I realized, I'm like, damn, bro, God didn't just give you that. It wasn't just that. It was just you was in this zone because you was so focused on, you gotta make it. You gotta do this for your family. All that other stuff is a distraction. That's what you're taught, and that's what you start to hone in on.
Right.
I was domesticated in that way, if you think about it. Like, I was trained to just go get it. And it came back to me. I started writing. I was like, damn, you're really good at this.
What were the first things you wrote?
Ooh,
poetry?
Yeah, it was definitely poetry. I think I said a little bit earlier how therapeutic writing is for me. When I was little, I'd go on my roof and just write about everything that I had seen and all that. And I would put it in little poems. Of course, I wouldn't tell nobody because everybody's like, oh, he's the next. He gonna make it because he gotta make it. So it's like, don't tell him nothing about basketball or anything else because they ain't trying to hear that, right?
Exactly.
And so it started off as like poetry, and it just built from there. And then my sister's boyfriend at the time had a studio in his backyard. And I would go back there, and I started actually writing rhymes for this artist in the area.
Yep.
Lil Dre, writing music for him. And so I developed a passion then. And so it just started to come back, and I realized that there's a lot more to me than just basketball. There's more, like everything that I've dealt with, everything that I've seen, including this experience with basketball, including this experience that I've just lived out in front of the world with my marriage, all of this with women that I go, all this, I'm able to now write it in a way that's like dope, and like I can really express this to people, and this can be an outlet, and it could heal people as well as give them something to jam to. It was just like at that point I realized that, I had another calling as well.
So your message for people who are also going through transition would be what?
Block out the noise. Block out the noise. When you know that it's something in your heart, and you know that it's something that you're supposed to be doing, and you're willing to put in the work to bring that to reality, there are going to be people that's going to be like, you can't do it.
Just like there was in basketball, right?
Understand that those people aren't telling you that you can't do it because they know you can't do it. They telling you that you can't do it because they've made an agreement with themselves some point in life
that they can't do it,
that they can't do something. So they're like, ain't no way he gonna be able to make it to the NBA because they can't. Lo and behold, I made it to the NBA.
Damn right.
Same thing here. Whether I'm writing scripts for movies, whether I'm writing poetry slam, where I'm writing music for other artists. This whole world of writing and creativity has just taken on a life of its own, and now, I'm able to just continue to do what I love, play basketball and write and do all that at the same time.
Beautiful. Would you say it was an easy transition for you? I mean, I guess my first question, I think, is probably like, what was the reaction from your family when you told them no more NBA? Because that's your bread and butter, right? Yeah,
that was the hardest thing to have to do. To have to tell them that, like, I can't play basketball no more. I know, like, everybody in my family is holding on to this thing, like, it's not just my dream. It's the whole, everybody's dream. To tell them, like, you know what, like, I can't do it no more. No matter how hard I'm trying, I just can't do it. To know, like, that's going to hurt them, that was hard. That was hard.
I can go for it.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, you asked me before, like, was the transition difficult? One of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. And I say that because of the fact, not only at that moment that I feel like I hurt my family, whatever, I'm such a people pleaser. You know what I mean? You just want, you be like, I want everybody to be happy. If everybody else happy, I'm cool. But
you're not happy.
That don't fulfill you. It don't do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? And then once I started to really get back to being me, being happy and enjoying what it is I'm doing, my family was just as supportive as they was before, and it was all in my head. You know, it was the monster that I had created, thinking that, oh, I won't be accepted because this is all they know from me. This is all they love. This is all they've shown me love for. But it was the complete opposite. Once they saw that it was something I really wanted to do, and it wasn't something that I was just doing in a moment or because I was hurt. Once they saw it was a passion of mine, they love me the same. And so,
yay. Wicked, brother.
Yeah.
Wicked. I love my beats. I just get lost. Like I just get lost in when you're talking. I just get sucked in. You're just such a creative and emotive person. You just really bring real heart to everything you do.
And I'm telling you, I came in today, I was like, we gonna have fun. And then when I get to talking to you,
we just go there.
There's something that clicks in. It's just like we just start chopping on a very intimate level. And it's just like, it's a release. It's definite.
I think we've had those, conversations before. I think I mentioned to you when I called my mum and told her, look, that was my last heptathlon. And I think there's that shared respect. You know that
I made that call
that sound.
Too.
You know what I mean? Really? But it's all you've ever known. It's almost your identity.
It is. And it has been. And it's been one that has brought so much happiness to other people.
Right. Happiness to you.
Yes.
And to other people. Yes. And so then it's like, okay, first of all, I need to find out what's going to make me happy next.
Yeah.
And then I have to make it successful so that everybody else is happy.
Yeah.
But you seem to have it kind of figured out, Boobs.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm very excited. And obviously,
it was tough. It was definitely a tough transition. The beginning of it, I just had to get to the point where I didn't care. And once I reached that point, the whole game changed. Everything changed. Everybody got it, and I was able to just freely create like I wanted to the whole time.
For real. And I don't know whether anybody out there has listened to Booby's tracks, but he's got a bad song called Nobody Knows.
Well, the beautiful thing about right now is actually having this conversation with you. I've partnered with Master P, and he's one who did basketball as well as branding and everything else.
Yep.
And he fell in love with the music or whatever, and he's been willing to support anything that I want to do. Before now, I haven't had that backing. And so a lot of the music some of the music that you heard and some of the music that I've been working on over this time will all start to come out now more consistently.
Oh, sugar.
I'm so excited, man.
Are you going to be releasing more stuff like, in the next, what?
Yeah, well,
this summer, soon.
That's
How
pretty
quickly?
I'm looking at June 27th as a date.
Heard it here first.
Yeah, it's going on right now. June 27th is a date that I have planned, and up until then, people will just see more of me rapping over popular beats. You know what I'm saying? Just because in this day and age, it's not always about the actual talent or the finished product. You gotta viral, you gotta troll, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole different game now. So I think for starters, I'm gonna just start rapping over the beats that everybody love.
Yeah. And
then from that point on, just bring them into the type of artist I am. And
you're a lover, not a fighter, that's for sure.
I'm a little bit of both, you know what I'm saying?
So I've seen. Boobs, we're gonna have a little game now.
Okay, what you got?
So this game is called All That and a Bag of Limes. So
hold on. This not no challenge type stuff. I put my arm in there. And
no, there's no snakes in there or
just
fish guts.
Sure. I know we started on
real
the challenge.
limes. I'll even prove it to you. Real limes.
Okay.
So you're gonna reach in there, pull out one of my limes, and it's gonna have a little question on it. If you can't read it, let me know. I'll read it out for you, and you're gonna answer the question as honestly, and I'm sure you will, because you're just like that, as you can.
Wes.
What does it say? Wes. So you have to dish the dirt on Wes. Give me your defining memory of Wes from the show. This is Weston Bergman from Challenge versus Stars.
Weston, man, Weston. What can I say about Wes?
I'll tell you what. Trash. Done. Okay, now you go.
You know what? I tell you coming in, like, I thought Wes was somebody that I peeped from the beginning. Man, Wes, as much as I know, he was playing the game the whole time to get all of us wiped out.
Because look at the... Have you seen what all of that?
He just said it.
I know.
He just clearly said it. Even after that, even after knowing that my man was out to get me and us from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's the homie now. Like, even like once...
You're a better person than I am, Booby. He's dead to me. Wes is cancelled.
Is he?
What does it say? Let's have a look.
Oh, we talked about this too. Favorite basketball player ever.
Yeah. So who's that?
My favorite basketball player ever is Allen Iverson, of course. You know,
would you have got to play with him in the Big Three?
Did.
You did?
Well, I played against AI his last the few of his last 2 years in the league. I think his last 2 years in the NBA.
Yeah. But was he scheduled? You were scheduled to play in the Big Three.
Yeah, he was definitely going to be a part of it.
Yeah,
as well. He was definitely.
So that would have been another little.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to catch him. I'm still going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to do it. Even after the challenge kind of showed me that I was a little more ahead of schedule than I had expected. So even since the challenge, I've gotten more in shape, and I'll keep working, and I'll probably end up doing the Big Three.
Wicked.
For sure.
Right. Get in there.
Let's see. Let's get it going.
Who is it?
Casper.
Trash.
You know what, man? Throughout the whole show, man, Casper, I never felt like I could trust him on the show. On the show, I always felt like at the right moment, he'd do whatever he needed to do for himself.
Oh, yeah, for real.
The whole show. It was never one moment I was like, oh, yeah, I could trust Casper. Even when we knew he was going to say another name, I still thought he was going to, like, say my name, like, in nominations or something.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Sneaky snake.
Yeah, sneaky little sneaky
Sneaky snake.
Oh, yeah. LeBron or Jordan, save one.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm going to save Bron.
Done.
Because, Michael Jordan's my favorite basketball player ever, but being as it though, the reason why...
You just contradict yourself. What about Iverson?
No.
He's at home crying now.
Nah, there's three differences. AI is my favorite player because of how much of a dog he was. He was a fighter. Jordan is the greatest basketball player ever, skill-wise. Bang, you can't touch him. Bron is the greatest teammate ever, and by him being the greatest teammate ever, he made me more money than I'll ever be able to count. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? He's the reason why I secured the bag, so he gotta stay. Like
fair play.
Bron has to stay.
Four corners
for life. 4 corners. Most overrated, underrated in the NBA now.
Yeah.
Woo, that's a tough one. Toughy.
I'll just be here.
Tough. Oh, who's? I'll say overrated. I gotta probably say, I'm gonna go Draymond Green.
Why so?
And the reason why I'm gonna go Draymond Green is because he's an unbelievable basketball player. Let's say that much.
Compliment.
But the boy, his talk game, his trash talk game is so crazy. It kind of takes away from well, actually, it takes away from it for me. You know what I'm saying? He need to be that for his team.
Right.
But to me, his skill set
needs to back it up too.
His skill set don't back it. His skill set is more like the dirty work guy and rebound, assist, pass, which is what he's called to do. But he get a little more, you know what I'm saying, love for it because he trash talks. So I would say he's probably the most overrated. Underrated right now, Jason Tatum.
Why
from
so?
Boston Celtics. I just feel like he's gonna be the next Boston Celtics star.
Do you see yourself in him?
Yeah. I think he's going to be the next Boston Celtics star. And he don't say nothing, he go out there, perform every night at a high level, and people keep thinking that he's gonna slow down. He just keep killing every chance he get. He done moved his team to the second round of the playoffs without Kyrie.
Yep.
Or I think he's gonna be like, and don't nobody give him no credit right now because he's in a rookie class with, I think
you just did.
Ben
You
Simmons.
heard it here first, for real.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be.
Back that horse early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Good. Ooh. What does it say?
Oh, this is easy. I love you so much.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah,
Aww.
Yeah, from day one.
Oh.
You held me down from day one.
Oh,
We
babe.
solid.
Just threw that one in there.
We solid.
Just see whether I could get any dirt out. What's this say?
Fuck, marry, kill.
People on the show, male or female. So we play shag, marry, avoid in the UK. So this is apparently is the American version. Shag, marry, kill.
Shag, marry.
Don't listen.
Kill.
Don't listen, Symphony. Close your ears.
She cool. She cool.
Oh, brilliant.
Shag.
Yeah.
Of course you. 'Cause
Bless you.
you get into the money. You know what I'm saying? You get into the money. And if we gonna be married, you gonna have to be bringing some money.
I can hear Booby's girlfriend laughing next door. I got you, girl. It's all good.
You gotta bring the money in, you know what I'm saying? And then, smash, probably would go with Kayla.
Yeah? Why
Yeah.
so?
Because she just looked like she bought with it, whatever. She seemed like the
she's
type.
about that life.
Yeah, she bought that life.
And
She
what's the
seemed like
last
she
one?
was a little gangster.
Last one?
Kill,
Yeah,
I gotta kill Cam for how she was talking to me.
for real. Killer Cam.
She made me feel like, you know what I'm saying? She made me feel bad and I didn't really do nothing wrong. So I'm just killing you right now. You know what I mean? That's it.
Brilliant. Love it. That lime is staying in this bag. That's the best one.
Yeah, I was like, that's a dangerous line right
Brilliant.
there. Okay, who would you date on the show?
You can throw that one. We already did that one.
Oh, that was F. Mary Kill? Oh, you trying to save me? You trying to save
Huh?
me? You trying to save me?
It's boring. We got that one out. Who else is in there?
Oh, and then to top it off, Henny.
Henny. Oh my gosh.
I just wish she could have stayed longer.
I know. Like, I just felt sad. Obviously, like, the show that we were just taking part in, Champs versus Stars, we had Hennessy Carolina on. She had an early departure from the show.
Yeah.
Felt like it wasn't for her. Man, I felt like that was the biggest shame.
Yeah, I don't think people got to see it all. Like, even the competitive side of it, but just like the character herself, like outside of people feeling attacked, she was a whole lot of fun with the jokes and the energy. I wish the people could have really got to see her
For
character
real.
as opposed
But then
to
also
how she
killed
was
it in some of
portrayed.
the challenges too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people didn't get to see any of that.
Yeah.
Like, they saw it. We did the shuffleboard. That was it. And then the first slip and slide challenge, she did that.
Yeah,
and then
the jump
Yeah.
and everything. It was.
They didn't even show that. You know what I'm saying? And,
you will be seeing a lot more from Henny.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
And,
Her and her sister.
big ups to her. I think she just. I saw like a
Covered paper magazine.
magazine cover something.
Go on, Henny.
Fashion design.
Go off, sis.
Yeah,
Go off.
yeah,
We got
yeah,
you.
she lit.
And there's
Okay.
one more in there.
Oh, we had to get all the lines.
Oh yeah,
I thought I was just supposed to try to pick
all that in a bag of lines.
Little Mama.
Little Mama.
Little Mama.
My
She
girl.
is such a beautiful soul. She's such a beautiful soul. So I don't think I
No.
I said her at the beginning.
Nope.
She's somebody that when I saw her there, I was like, okay, I'm good.
Because you guys knew each other from time, right?
Yeah, I had knew her beforehand, and I already knew she was cool. I knew she was a competitor. I knew she was gonna hold her on that end, and I just wanted to have somebody there that I was comfortable with. You know what I mean? And it was definitely Lil Mama. I didn't mention that, but she definitely made it more comfortable.
I felt like Little Mama was the truth.
The whole show. The whole show. Anytime she opened up her mouth, it was real.
Her integrity is on another level. Like, she could genuinely stand there, walk away from the show and be like, at least my integrity and my morals are intact. Personally, I couldn't say the same thing about myself. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow.
Could I? Maybe. For the most part, I could.
Yeah?
For the most part, I could.
We're
Depends on who you ask.
teetering on the line. You know what I mean? We're sitting on the fence.
Depends on who you ask.
So one of my last questions to you was, what is the lesson that you feel that you were put on this earth to teach? And I felt like you kind of gave us that earlier.
Yeah.
But I want you to reiterate it.
Yeah. I know that it's just bigger than myself. I feel like I was put on this earth to uplift, inspire, motivate. And I feel like it's because I have a motor. And what I mean by motor is I just don't quit. It don't matter what I'm faced with. It don't matter what the adversity looks like. I might fall down and it might look like I might not get up, but you could bet I'm going to get up. And not only am I going to get up, I'm going to shine and I'm going to walk in the fact that I just fell down. And I'm going to let you see that. And I just feel like we need those type of people out here.
Yes, we do.
Speaking on some of the stuff we spoke on, this world is a lot of people in positions of power that don't know what to do with that power. And they just continue to reiterate some of the bad things about this world, and they don't help us fix this world by their actions or what they do. And so I just want to be somebody that can just be an example for other people to keep going.
Yes, Booby.
That's what I'm here for.
Thank you, Booby. Booby just took us to church on Slay Sunday. Booby Gibson, thank you so much for joining me. I literally cannot express how grateful I am.
Lou, I tell you from day one, if you need anything from me, I'm here, and this is me holding on to my word.
Oh, bless you, Boo.
From here on out, if you ever need me, you got me.
For real. You're my day one. Or my day 4,365.
Yeah, something like that.
Love you, Boo. Thank you so much for coming on. You've been an amazing guest.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck for this summer. Get that music. Where can people find you on social media, Instagram, Twitter, whether it be your YouTube as well?
Well, my everything is Booby's World. My YouTube is Booby's World. My website is boobiesworld.com. My Instagram is Booby Gang, and that's Booby with a Y. BOOBYGANG. And yeah, if you want to win, put Booby in, and that's pretty much where you can find all my music. It's on all the streams. You just put in Booby Gibson, and it'll take you where you need to go.
You're such a D-boobs. Wicked. Thank you so much.